What's up, everybody? I screwed that up. What up, everybody? I'm John by Weasel. This is Ace Attorney. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Case 5, Rise from the Ashes. Yeah. Probably. Whoops! You're probably wondering. We had green text before. Well, I had to progress it once to save. I didn't progress it any further. And I already read what it was before. I'm pretty sure. It's the same thing as always. We're in the courtroom lobby. Alright, let's get to it. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Hey, what do you mean? You called for Jake Marshel. Seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. I have! Sort of. Now I gotta remember every detail. But Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. Voice crack. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Got a lot of nerve, pal, making the detective run all around while on duty. At the top of off, you call me here, and I've seen happier people at funerals. We can't spell funeral without real fun. No, really, you can't rearrange your letters. It spells real fun. How fucked up is that? Sorry, detective. You better be pal. Hey! I didn't see you there, Chief. I was gonna say Chief Prosecutor. I keep doing that. I mix up prosecutor and prostitute all the time. I don't do it on purpose. I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay, so have you brought what I asked? Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Guy was a witness? Files for the Joe Dark killings. This was all 2 years ago. More like Joe Mama. Ooh. Quicker I get this done, the quicker I'm letting myself eat. There's a stitch trial. A small investigation and then the last trial. Anywho. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. About that. Spoiler. Not this case, later, much later. Third game, really. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? Well, what? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana? This SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as... the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark? No, Lana! That's over with. No! Emma, wait! She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, Papa. I'm out of here. Jake Marshel, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at this file. Oh, well. Shit happens. Also hits the fan and rolls downhill. Trial ladder. Not the ladder you climb up. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Ms. Lana Skye. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. They never took my medicine today. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally having the elderly cross intersections when you need. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know! You're a patrolman! As for my name, if you listen high enough, you can hear the howl of the wind called out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshel, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of yesterday. On the day of the crime took place. On the day the crime took place. Son of a bitch. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? The Desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony on the day of the crime. In plain old English. Yeah. Day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. Remember right, it was a I was at a street-side saloon at the time I went there. Just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail. Partially making me want to play. Oh, God. Red Dead Redemption 2. I hate to say that, but I'm kind of open to Let's Playing that. And if I do that, then I guess I'm open to Let's Playing GTA 5. Problem is, how am I going to do this? I don't know how I would do it. Because I would want to do some side quests to get money. Or I could cheat. I could cheat the money and just do main quests. They would make it go quicker. Because I kind of don't want to be That game doesn't like GTA, it doesn't really have a means of fast travel. Which is a problem. If I want fast travel, I have to go to a carriage or a train. Same with GTA, there's literally no fast travel in 5. Which means most of the time would be me driving. And really, I believe the only side quests are the strangers and freaks. I don't know. Not guaranteed. I have to think it through. At least with GTA 5, it'd be easier for me to do. It's not quite as open as that. Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know. Here's the thing. If I do Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm definitely cheating. But that means I can't save. Which means I won't be able to do anything else until I finish that Let's Play. The only way I'd be cheating is with money anyway, but I don't know why Rockstar had to do that. There was no point for that. I don't know. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. Can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. In a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I can even a cowboy like you knows about those. Yes, well. What about the fingerprint activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? I lost the accent. He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? Everyone's got their weaknesses. The crawly ones are mine. Oh, Varkas. Oh, it's someone else. I don't remember. Two of Yous give me or something like that. I can't remember who it is. Vilkas is Farkas. I don't remember. One of them is afraid of spiders, which at a time I was too. I was forced to. Anyway. This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Oh, whoops. And what was that you got, buddy boy? How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure none of the moon in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time died in there. There's a caretaker who interred the recordings. Interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful when the time would come and erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room? Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshel, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner, I can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How did a guy avoid being fired? Good question. Chin strap. What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. What are you, spaghetti western? Not even Angel steak lunches can beat that pile of Voglio sepia pasta. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. You mean to tell us you abandon your police duties and eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. Some of the men... hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is unusually where Edward says, did you not want a raise this year? So... okay. I can prove you weren't. Let's see why I have to be at it, whatever. Oh, actually, we need to look at this. So it's called perpetrated no junk. Wow. Serial murder and death. Victims: Ed, Edis, Jib, Jason, Rachel, Neil, Edwards. What's it? Executive investigator, investigators, head investigator. Investigator. I don't know. Remember if this ever comes into play. That as using it as evidence. Excuse me. It throws me off when it lags like that. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene, or to be exact, a handprint. This is real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I'm paying my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Dude! Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? Why am I giving everybody? Wow. The blood was wiped away, however. The overall test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? Officer Waffle! Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a hand on his shoulders. You included? Or you excluding yourself? I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained print. About the blood. Fuck. I fucked that up. Well, very well. You may begin your testimony about your prints found at the scene of the crime. Ba, 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 ba. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the lawyer where my fingerprint was, but shit. Blood stain in the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? How would you know that? See, it had nothing to do with it. How would you know that? And we can prove you were. The witness's explanation appears valid. Although there's room for doubt, life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. I don't know. The defense may cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. Ugh, excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning. I have a chance to prove it. I would love to know how you know that. How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. Keep up on the reports. There's a blood stain at the scene, not to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found in Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that hampering. Yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshel's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Can't let him squirm out of this one. Gotta find something. Something the size of the tide. Vagina! Oh yeah, the first statement. That's because you, how did you put it? Pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean when I say it. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from the locker's programming. Ah! I mentioned that! I mentioned that! I said, what did it? I guess they can reprogram it. Once the person retires or dies. That answers my question. He must have been using the fingerprint long all this time without ever knowing it. Starting to get the picture, partner. The picture? The sea of blood in the desert's just food for the buzzards. Well, they do eat carrion. Dead corpses. Why do I keep looking to the left like I'm looking at someone? There's only one reality, and that's this. Security tape. As long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. I can say otherwise! This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider careful where you go with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshel. Officer Waffle! What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime? Ain't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's for blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. But the face that'll haunt your nightmares is. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you could show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshel was present, please do so now. I can do that. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshel. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this show us the evidence! Fuck. Ah. Booga booga. Boom, 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 boom. Hola! Man, talk about perfect timing on that. Bum, 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 bum. There you go, buddy. The only reason I could be there is if you opened it, and only you can open it. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll not soon forget, Officer Marshel. Eh? The days are short in Texas, so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. Boom, 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 boom. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witness, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. I'm starting to become fond of the blue the blue bastard is what I was gonna say. The blue badger. Don't ask you why. Starting to grow on me. Oh, the white cloth. It's going. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshel? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshel, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your own locker. You opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! Order! If it's seen that, it's the... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner. But you got the wrong man. Eh? So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. No, I needed to hide something, so I opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault they happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy is just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. So yeah, I call your bluff. You say open that locker? Now prove it. Whoop. And shove it up your bum. Fingerprint sensor? A fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sherry, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! Why so dramatic? Order! Order! Order, damn it! Witness, explain yourself. This is a joke. It's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshel. Well then, please tell me... Fuck, I just pictured Marshel from... I just pictured Marshel from Animal Crossing dressed as a police officer. Aww. It's adorable! You know, Marshel, the little white squirrel, he's adorable. With a cinnamon swirl tail. The markings on his tail, because it's curled up because he's a squirrel, it makes it look like a cinnamon swirl from the side. He's adorable. I wish he was on my island. Well, now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Ole! Please answer the question. This motherfucker really said ole. Oh. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's right, Officer Marshel. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshel. If that's so, then where was the witness? Geez, Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshel at the time of the crime? Boink. He was the victim. I forgot in the guide it actually says, let's go through this hellish video again. Oh, shit! No, wait, there's only one possible place. Marshel must have been the killer who entered the evidence room. That's... no. Well, yeah. No, I don't know now. But you're supposed to point at the... whatever! Officer Marshall standing right here. There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman? He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. I showed my chin instead. Yeah, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized that the man wasn't Detective Goodman. And do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving that they're dressed up as the victim. Can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. Can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. You just did it twice. That's strike two. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems like you're the one who couldn't take that hate. Ah! This can't be happening. It's obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. How do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it had been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well. Let's take another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had opened up his locker. Yeah, why indeed? Ah, okay. I'll be honest, the 3D models aren't that great, but hey, they work. Eight. I'm hoping that's the right point. For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman and enter the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. Bloody white coat. Bloody wicked! You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Now then, Officer Marshel, you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated you. Hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, y'all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Officer Marshel, tell the court what you did. All of it. All right. Seems the time has come. I had to do it that day. I just couldn't stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him a plan to take the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. Managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you? There's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Officer Marshel! I'm sorry, Officer Waffle. There goes my day off. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was gonna completely end with the transfer that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. What did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what it costs. I don't care what anyone says, partner, that case is mine. But Officer Marshel wasn't in charge of that investigation. I didn't care so much about it. That day was my last chance, that's why Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security cameras. And the detective's ID card? Stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started showing on that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshel. So essentially, You managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker by yourself. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshel. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins, certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person, mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and ended up cutting him slightly. And I ended up cutting him slightly. Sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? You mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and... But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What, are you blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker is already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. I had a feeling we'd end up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. Better take another look at the files. Files! Well, I guess I have to press that again. Why did you just catch yourself? Goodman? I didn't make an evidence transfer over arrested for stealing evidence yet. So you did it for the camera, blah blah blah. Excuse me. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. All had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your code in your struggle with Officer Meekins. Someone was in the security room when I came out. The jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying on that day? Officer Marshel, may I ask you one thing? Far away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, fuck you! This isn't your case. This one is mine. I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. We'll hear more in the next episode. Till then, I'm Zombie Weedle. Stay zombie, and I'm out!